right, we take you now to Police Chief Mark Kessler in a Pennsylvania town of Gilberton. It's like Mayberry RFK, and his citizens are backing him. Pennsylvania Police Chief proposes Second Amendment Preservation Ordinance, demand a real plan nullifying constitutional gun laws. And he joins us to talk about enact any and all measures as may be necessary to prevent the violation of the Second Amendment. That's right. That's right. Not just say we're not going to enforce unconstitutional laws, enact whatever it takes, any means necessary. I want to salute you, sir, for your stand for the Republic, and it's good to have you here with us. Tell us why this came to mind and where this is going.
Well, thank you very much, Alex, for having me on your show. This came to mind after the Sandy Hook shooting and the outcry for everybody to ban weapons. Hopefully, after 3 or 4 weeks of research, I came up with the idea for the nullification process. And after several drafts, I planned on introducing it to the Borough Council on our next meeting on January 24th, which I hope they do pass.
Well, I hope it does pass. Why did you? I mean, did the clock get so close to midnight? Is that why you came up with this plan?
Well, just the events in general that are going on, Alex, right now around the country, in particularly in Washington, that everybody's screaming to ban weapons, and they fail to realize that it's not the weapon that's causing the problem. It's the person behind the weapon that's causing the problem. And until they figure that out, they're never going to solve the problem. It's not the law-abiding citizens that are going out and committing these heinous crimes that are so evil and unspeakable. It's the mentally ill, unfortunately, that are doing a lot of these crimes and criminals. It's not the law-abiding citizens.
Well, that's right. I mean, every day in this country, unfortunately, every day I've looked it up, or on average every day, a mentally ill person takes a butcher knife and stabs their family with it. Do I have to lose my butcher knife because they do that? We're going to be right back with the police chief. Pennsylvania Police Chief proposes Second Amendment Preservation Ordinance. We appreciate his courage and his forethought, and this is something that can really pick up steam everywhere. We have been robbed. Globalism has been a curse to this country. Everything the globalists are doing worldwide is about making you dependent. I'm getting storable food. You need it because it's the only insurance that you can 100% use. I have, family that are veterans and people like that who can't live off their Social Security, who are disabled and things, and that's why I've bought so much food. Charity starts at home. I promote what I believe in 100%, and I believe in what they're doing 100%. And the globalists do not want you to be self-sufficient. I hope you will take action, get the 6 free meals when you pay for the shipping, so that you can eat them and see that it's quality. That's why I chose eFoods. As I did my research, I tested a bunch, bought a bunch. The other stuff was like cardboard or filled with MSG or made in China. So bottom line, folks, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Follow the banners at Infowars.com or call the toll-free number 800-409-5633. That's 800-409-5633. Coming up in the next hour, we'll look at the economy, take your phone calls, and look at the White House and NATO funding radical Islamic groups to invade different countries. I want to show some statistics here and then go back to the police chief from Pennsylvania who's introduced a plan with the city council to have the Second Amendment Preservation Act in their area. And again, big things have small beginnings. But here's an article at Infowars.com by Mac Slavo. America's biggest killers, the chart anti-gunners don't want you to see. And then it goes directly to FBI.gov and the Centers for Disease Control, their own numbers. Tobacco use, 529,000 conservatively. Medical errors, 195,000. Unintentional injuries, 118,000, slipping in the shower. Alcohol abuse, 107,400. Motor vehicle accidents, deaths. These are deaths, by the way. All these are. 34,000 deaths. So you've got tobacco, 500+ thousand. Medical errors, 195,000. Unconventional injuries, 118,000. Alcohol abuse, 107,000. Motor vehicle accidents, 34,000. Going to ban cars because they're dangerous? Well, don't worry. They want to make you drive robot cars now. That's the whole Google plan, so look out. Unintentional poisoning, 31,758. Well, got to ban everything poisonous. Well, everything's poisonous. But you can drink too much Scope mouthwash and die. I mean, going to ban that. Drug abuse, 25,000. Unintentional falls. So that was separate from that, 24,792. Non-firearm homicides, baseball bats, ice picks, butcher knives, rocks, 16,799. Firearms homicides, 11,493 in 2011. These numbers always come out a year late, so these just came out a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. The point is that you've got a much better chance of falling in the shower and dying than from a firearm. And over 70% of those 11,000, go look at FBI.gov and violent crime statistics, are gangbangers killing each other. Now, 4,000 is still a big number, but it's nothing compared to everything else. This is a hoax. I want to go back to the police chief. Sir, you've got the floor here for the balance of the segment. Where would you like to see this go, the common sense, what you see in your town? How do we get your council to get this law passed? How do people read a copy of it so other towns can introduce it? I mean, this is what we need to do because you've got all these other cities ignoring things that are the law. Well, how about we have cities ignore things that are unconstitutional?
Well, Alex, I've been receiving phone calls from all across the country, from Alaska to California, asking for copies of the alleged proposal I'm going to introduce to council on the 24th of January, from mayors in Chester County, Pennsylvania, to mayors in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, that want copies. Different sheriff departments all around the country that are asking me for copies. They have called and given me great support throughout this whole thing. And I would like to see it spread throughout the entire continental United States.
Yes.
By every means necessary, and spread the word to everybody. And we're not going to stand idle. We can't stand and just let these bureaucrats in Washington ram down anti-constitutional law to the American people. It's just not right. And I will not. My department will not enforce any unconstitutional laws against the Second Amendment or the Constitution of the United States, as far as I'm concerned, or the Constitution of Pennsylvania.
Well, I know you're sticking your neck out because you love the Republic and your family and our future. And obviously, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but guns are the canary in the coal mine. I'd like you to elaborate on that, Chief. But looking at this, it's an example of leadership. You do this, and you haven't even put it out publicly yet. Obviously, you will soon on the city website. And you already have people all over the country wanting to emulate what you've done. And that's the essence of this. We have to simply stand up as leaders and do what's right, and others will join us. But if we just stand here and let the tyranny take over, as Churchill said, there may come a time when we have to stand up and fight because it's better to die on our feet than as slaves, instead of fighting politically early on when our chance for victory was assured.
Exactly, exactly. And God forbid, the last thing we want is any kind of violence. Hopefully, this will be a kind of a gateway for other people that believe in the Constitution and other law enforcement officials and just the average citizen that they could make a copy of it, call me, get in touch with me, make a copy of it, take it to their local law enforcement agencies, their local sheriffs, their local politicians, and have them do the same thing that I'm trying to do. And I've been contacted by the Oath Keepers. They're in support of me. The Pennsylvania United PA 912 guys. They're 8 million members strong throughout the country. They're backing me. There's just a whole bunch of people that are.
Yeah, folks are just looking for men of honor to stand up, and you're doing that. And this is what can turn the tide. This is what the anti-gunners are so scared of. They know actual innocents being killed by guns is incredibly rare. They have the statistics. I've been around them. These are cold-blooded tyrants. You know, all the pro-gunners are always so polite and go, what's wrong with these people? Look at the statistics. They're not dumb. most of them are tyrants. Sure, you've got people at the grassroots that never grew up around guns and are scared of them. But the general establishment people that want our guns, they want them to oppress us. And look, I've told the police this, and the police aren't stupid. They know this. There's a lot of people aren't turning them in. And if a Feinstein gun ban goes through and they try to go around harassing gun owners, it is not going to go well. And what Judge Head talked about is going to end up happening. I want to avert that, and I agree with you. I think we can fix this just by political action.
I hope so. I hope so, Alex. The last thing, like I said, we want is any kind of violence erupting throughout the country. And hopefully this sends a clear message to Washington and to the media that we're not going to stand idly by and let them confiscate the Second Amendment or tamper with the Constitution itself. And that's that. I mean, we got to band together.
Wow. You know, I was looking up your town. Friday, I had a caller because we were already covering your report Thursday and Friday, and the caller said, oh, no, let me give his number out. He's happy to have his number out. And I said, well, wait, let me get him on and make sure it's okay to give his number out. Very
sure.
You know, nice of you to give your number out for mayors and sheriffs or others that may want to get a copy of it. And if you'd like to send us the proposed town ordinance or law, we would love to post it at Infowars.com so you don't get hammered. But if you're willing to answer a couple hundred phone calls, go ahead and give your number out.
If they want to get in touch with me, Alex, our phone number here at the office is 570-874-4790. And I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody who wants a copy of the proposed ordinance and supply them a copy with it. And,
well, again, I got to say it. I'm not kissing your butt here, Chief, but I got to say, what you're doing is what will save this country, and it almost brings a tear to my eye because so many people say, well, I'll just wait till they come for my guns and we'll have a revolution. Folks, that is the last thing we want. Whoever shoots first loses. We want to stand up politically and use that force to defend our freedoms, not shoot our mouths off. And I've told people this. If you won't politically get involved to defend your freedom, it's talk. You will never physically defend when the time comes.
Correct, Alex. You're right on point there. Right on point. I couldn't agree with you more. Let's just hope everything goes the way on the 24th, and I urge the borough council to take a good long look and a hard look at this proposal, and hopefully they'll side with the Constitution and pass this ordinance. We're
going to do 5 more minutes with you, Chief, and let you get back to your family. But start with the ordinance. What does the ordinance basically break down?
It breaks down basically that the borough of Gilberton is going to recognize the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States and the Second Amendment, or the Constitution of Pennsylvania, Section 21, the right to keep and bear arms in Pennsylvania. And we're not gonna let we're gonna nullify any state, local laws, ordinance, or regulations against the Constitution or Article 21 of the Pennsylvania Constitution.
In fact, there is the text. It's actually in our article. I'd seen that, but I wanted to double check. The text is at Infowars.com in the article, breaking that down. Very, very exciting. Do 5 more minutes with us, Chief. We're going to come back and let you finish up any other points you want to get to. Folks, it is a command center. We're just putting out the Constitution. If you obey the command, that's between you and God. If you don't, I feel sorry for you. This country has been wealthy and successful because we had more liberty than other nations. Doesn't mean we were perfect, but we had some amazing founders. And I saw a clip of Michael Moore saying, how dare the founders, you know, people think that's all set in stone. They fought the greatest empire in the world. They trailblazed liberty that became the model of the planet. And I look at the ordinance that you can get at Infowars.com. Pennsylvania Police Chief proposes Second Amendment Preservation Ordinance, Aaron Dyke's article. Second Amendment Preservation Ordinance, it says prohibitions on federal, state, local infringement of the right to keep and bear arms, firearms, accessories, or ammunition. And there's a line in here that talks about enact any and all measures as may be necessary. People say, oh, they'll come get us like they're God or something on Mount Olympus. If you simply say no, they lose the moral authority, and then the gun confiscation never happens. If you cower, all liberty falls. Now I said I want to give you the floor, but you're a polite gentleman, so you're a man of few words. But in the last 4 minutes we've got left, other points, Police Chief Mark Kessler of Gilberton, Pennsylvania, that you'd like to impart to our listeners.
Well, Alex, I'd like to say I hope everybody gets behind this, and my Mayor Mary Lou Hannon, she's pro-Second Amendment. She's standing behind me on this. She's going to also push the council into adopting this, and I just really hope it passes. And we all got to band together and stand up and fight the treasonous in Washington and the elite. It's just everything that's going on right now in the country. I'm really worried about where we're headed in the next 4 years. It could be very disastrous. And if they want to take, they're going to start taking our weapons away from us. It's the start of a very bad situation within the United States. And hopefully the people could stand together, the patriots, the mothers, the fathers, the military, the law enforcement, to just all band together and say enough is enough. We had enough. We're not going to take it no more. We're not going to sit idly by and let the government ram anti-constitutional law down the throats of the American citizens.
That's right. If we just act like it's some mothership that gives us all the orders, it's going to do whatever it wants, and foreign interests are going to come in and buy it off. We have to. It was a famous African-American statesman during the Civil War, to paraphrase him. He said that liberty and freedom is not given; it is taken, it is demanded, and we need the special interest of liberty and the American people and private property and low taxes and freedom. And so we've got to get aggressive. We've been taken over because we became passive, and it's just common sense. We either get involved or we lose everything. Exactly,
sir. Exactly. And we can't do that. We can't. I will not sit idly by and let this unconstitutional act that the Congress is trying to pass right now. Not the whole Congress, because there's some good congressmen and there's good senators in the United States. But just certain ones that have this ideological anti-American agenda that does not sit well with me. It just does not sit well with me whatsoever.
And they guilt us into, you've heard it, you're a Klan member if you own guns. You're an accessory to murder. The NRA are lobbyists for these 20 dead kids. It's the government, the federal government, that made those gun-free zones, and the media that advertised it as the places for Prozac heads to go kill people. I mean, if they want to put blame out there, they're light years more to blame than anybody else.
Exactly. They should look in the mirror. They really need to a reality check. We need to get these people out of office. They're committing acts of treason on a daily basis, and it just boggles my mind as an individual and as a police chief that these people are in the position of power that they're in.
What about your other officers? Are they fired up about this?
Yeah, everybody in my community is pretty much fired up about this, and the local communities around me are fired up about it. I've received calls from different area chiefs of police asking me, congratulating me on it.
Others are good, because this is how brush fires in the minds of men start, according to Jefferson. Well, I want to salute Police Chief Mark Kessler in Gilberton, Pennsylvania. When is your town going to stand up? Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?